Hello people, my name is Ajay Yadav. Today we will going to see an interesting topic that is VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. It is a service of AWS. So in this video, what we will see is what is VPC, why it is important for learning VPC for any IT industry being, and this video also contain lab practicals. So let's start. Virtual Private Cloud. So going on virtual private cloud, firstly we should know about private cloud. What is private cloud? Private cloud is a cloud dedicated for particular organization or particular company. Take an example of Google. Google has its own private cloud, which means the data inside that private cloud is only accessible by Google people and Google employees. So that's the purpose of private cloud. So what is virtual private cloud? Virtual private cloud is a virtual network that is a service provided by AWS that is closely resembling of the traditional data center or traditional private cloud with the benefit of scalable infrastructure of AWS. In simple term, what is VPC? VPC is a virtual network or data center inside AWS for one client. Amazon VPC concept. Virtual private cloud. We have learned virtual private cloud before. So let's start with subnet. Subnet is a adjacent resource which is used for VPC. It helps for ranging IP address in your VPC. Then comes the routing table. Routing table is a tabular form of determining where the network traffic is directed. Then comes the internet gateway. Internet gateway is a gateway that is attached to your VPC for establishing communication between internet and your VPC. What we're going to do in lab is here. VPC with single public subnet. So basically we're going to create a subnet which is public inside your own VPC. Like there is a diagram, Amazon Virtual Private Cloud. Inside that we'll create a public subnet. We'll also show path for internet and other AWS services. Before going for lab, we should learn about steps to create VPC. Always remember these steps in order. Like firstly we have to create VPC, then we have to create subnet, then we have to create internet gateway, then we have to create routing table. So it should be in order. Keep it in mind and always remember this. So let's start with the AWS lab of VPC. Firstly open a Chrome browser or any other browser and enter AWS and click enter. You will be landed on AWS page, then click on sign in to the console. So now we are at AWS Management Console. We will find where is VPC. We can see VPC is here also recently visited services, but we will go with the services tab. Now we will find where is VPC. VPC is under network and content delivery. Click on VPC. So we are at VPC dashboard in VPC Management Console. So there are resources which are default given by AWS, like there is one VPC for every region. There is subnet. It is associated with availability zone. If you have three availability zone, there will be three subnet. In North Virginia, there are six availability zone. So there are six subnet in North Virginia. There is a routing table. There is an internet gateway which is by default given by AWS, and there are several other things. So we will focus on creating our own VPC. So first step of creating VPC is creating your VPC that comes under tab of your VPC. So there is by default one VPC created by AWS for region. We'll create on our own VPC. Click on create VPC tab. Give the name that is my VPC. Then we'll provide IPv4 CIDR block that is 10.0.0.0/16. There is IPv6 CIDR block. We will not going to change it. There is tenancy which is default as well as dedicated. Default is where is shared tenancy is there, whereas in dedicated AWS will give you a particular dedicated hardware for you and it will cost more for you. So we'll go with default one. There is no changes in tag. Create VPC. Your VPC is created. Let's check where it is. So this is your VPC of my name, my VPC name. So our first step is done of creating VPC. Our second step is to create subnet. We'll click on subnet. There is by default three subnet for three availability zone. I have told you before also. We're going to create our own subnet. We have to select VPC ID. So you have to not select default one. We have to select that which we have created, that is my VPC. It will ask for name. We'll give it a name, my subnet, that is my sub short form. There is availability zone we have to select. We'll select it 1A. You can select anything in there. It is asking for IPv4 CIDR. We'll get 10.0.0.0/16. Okay. Tags will be remain same. We'll create subnet. Your subnet has been created. See, your subnet is showing here with all the subnets like this. These are the default one. This one is yours. Now we have completed two steps of creating VPC. The third step is creating internet gateway. So let's click on internet gateway. There is a default gateway. We'll create own gateway, that is my IGW, that is internet gateway. Tags will remain same. Create internet gateway. Your internet gateway is successfully created. See, this is your internet gateway, my IGW. The last step is routing table. So we're going to create routing table. I'll drop it. There are two routing table. One is of my VPC, which is by default created, and we'll not go with the by default one. We'll create our own routing table. So we'll click on create route table. We'll give it a name, that is my routing table, that is RT. We'll select VPC for that, that is my VPC. We'll leave this section of tag. We'll click on create. Close the tab. Your routing table is created. So we will check all the informations we have created, all the informations of the resources we have created. We'll click on VPC and we'll click on this box. So these are the details of your VPC. VPC ID, tenancy, state, other things. There are several other tabs of which are showing the properties of VPC. We'll look at subnet also. This is your subnet. This is also showing the details of subnet, subnet ID, available IP addresses, availability zones, etc. etc. You can check one by one and you can turn and twist everything here. Then it is IGW. We'll check that property also. IGW, what it shows only details and tags. Okay, and it is also showing the state, that is detached. We are not attached that internet gateway to our VPC. Okay, we'll also look at routing table. We'll click on this. So it shows the routes, subnet associations, edge associations. There are several other tabs. Okay, we'll go to internet gateway. As we have seen that it is detached. One sec. It is detached. We'll click on this like this and we'll click on action attached to VPC. So it is showing my VPC which we have created. Select that and attach to internet gateway. So our VPC is been attached to our internet gateway. So we'll go to route table. We'll see what are the routes. It is showing local route, local target means we can communicate between locally. Okay, so we'll click on edit route. We'll add a route that is 0.0.0.0/0. What does it mean? It means we can go anywhere. It is a path for internet, or we can say we can go anywhere, that is 0.0.0.0.0. It is also used for internet also. So we will select a target, that is internet gateway. It will show which we have created, my internet gateway. We'll select that and we will save routes. We'll close this tab. So our routes are been selected. Then we will check, does its subnet association is done. We'll click on edit subnet association. We'll select on this, click on save. Your association is also happen with the subnet. Okay, your VPC is created, your subnet is created, your IGW internet gateway is created. It is also loading. Your internet gateway is also connected, and your routing table also have routes of internet gateway. So we are ready for implementing our public cloud. We'll click on services. We'll under compute, there is EC2 for creating virtual servers in the cloud. We have landed on EC2 dashboard. There is no instance running. Instance is basically virtual machine in term of AWS. We'll click on launch instance. The first step is choose an Amazon machine images. Amazon machine images is nothing. It is a image of operating system, different operating system like Amazon, Linux, or Windows, Ubuntu, Windows Server. There are different Amazon machine images. We'll go with Microsoft Windows Servers 2019 base. The second step is choose an instance type. So basically we have to choose instance type. Instance type is nothing. It is different configuration of virtual machine which is provided by AWS. You can select a number of virtual CPUs for processing, how many RAM, how many memory do you want, which storage type you want, which network performance you want. So we'll go with T2 micro as it is freely available. The third step is configure instance detail. So the first step is number of instance. You can create n number of instance you want. We can create 10 number of instance at a time, but we'll go with one only. In network, we'll select on my VPC because we have created it for this only. We'll create virtual machine under our VPC. It also selected subnet by default as there is only one subnet created in our VPC. The auto assign public IP is disabled by default by AWS. We have to enable this for accessing internet and getting public IP. The rest of the things are left as it is, and we'll click on add storage. The storage is attached. We don't have to do anything here. We'll click on add tag. We'll add a tag that is name value my VPC EC2. Okay, we'll click on next, configure security group. We'll create new security group with another name like my VPC SG security group short form. And there is RDP protocol which is already given. We will select source anywhere. It means that RDP can go anywhere on internet or another virtual machine also. We'll click on review and launch. So basically it is showing for improving security. We have not configured much of the security, so don't worry, we can secure it later. So basically it is showing the instance detail which we have configured. We'll click on launch. It is asking for key pair. If you have a key pair, select that, and if you not, create a new key pair. We'll name it my VPC key pair and download key pair, because without downloading the launch instance will not happen, and downloading help you to access your instance. Without key you cannot access your instance, so download it, then click on launch instance. Your instance is been created, but still a lot of time it will take, 2 to 3 minutes. Your name is not given here. We'll edit this name. My, it is not taking this thing. My virtual machine 1. It is deleted the my. It's happened sometime, but it doesn't mean that your virtual machine is not working fine. It is working fine. It sometimes happen in AWS. Don't worry. Your instance state is showing running, but the status check is not till given 2 by 2. The status check is basically checking your health of the virtual machine, like it is not malfunctioning or not na. That's why. So we will wait for 2 to 3 minutes it will take. Our virtual machine is ready. As you can see, the status check is 2 by 2, and it is almost take 2 to 3 minutes in AWS. So as our virtual machine is created, we want to go inside it. So basically what we have to do, we have to select our virtual machine. We'll click on action, then we will click on connect. We'll click on RDP client. It is asking for downloading remote desktop file. We'll download it. It is showing public IP of our instance and user administration name and get password. We will get password by browsing our my VPC key. We'll open that thing. It will show something, and we have to decrypt this to get password. This is the password with short. We'll copy this. This is a copy button by AWS. We'll copy this, and this will open this RDP. As this RDP file open, the password we have copied, we'll paste that password, and we'll click on OK. It is a certificate. We have to click yes. Here we came at our virtual machine through RDP. The virtual machine is starting. It it will take some time. We are inside our virtual machine. We'll refresh it. After some time, there will be some details here of our virtual machine. We'll wait for that. See, we got details: host name, ID name, public ID, private address, public address, instance size, all these things. This means our virtual machine is fully started. And what we will do, we'll go into the search option and we'll type cmd, that is command prompt. So we'll click on this and we'll simply ping to our virtual machine inside the VPC, and it will tell us about that our VPC is working fine. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to ping to internet through our virtual machine which is created in VPC. It will show that our VPC and virtual machine is working fine or not. So we'll type ping 8.8.8.8 hyphen t. So we are getting reply from internet without stopping. So it means that our VPC is working fine and as well as our virtual machine is also fine. So we'll close our RDP. We'll go back. We'll go back to instance. We'll delete this instance because deleting it is very important. If you want to keep it, keep it. We'll delete it. It is has shut down. It is terminated. We'll go back to services. We'll go to VPC. We'll delete VPC also. So we'll click on VPC. I'll try to delete this VPC. So what it shows, you can get unable to delete VPC because the VPC cannot to delete until you complete the following actions. It is asking for different actions to perform to delete it. It is showing my VPC. So basically what we have to do, internet gateway we have attached to it, we have to deattach it. If you want to deattach from VPC, and we'll click again on delete. See, it is giving us option of deleting VPC. So we'll type delete here. So it is deleting my routing table, my my subnet also, the another subnet, and it will also delete internet gateway. But what happened, our virtual machine was under deleting process, that's why it is not deleting. So if you did not detach internet gateway, then it will also delete internet gateway by deleting only the VPC. So we'll click on delete. All the things of virtual private cloud we have done is deleted. So as we have seen creating VPC through long process, now we will show how to create VPC through short process. So we'll click on VPC. Under VPC dashboard, there is launch VPC wizard. There are several things you can create here. We'll create VPC with single public subnet. We'll select here. It is filled already. You have to only fill VPC name, that is my VPC. Will put here 1, my VPC 1. You have to select availability zone if you want. The subnet name is public subnet. You don't have to do anything. Add a endpoint. Hardware tenancy, you have to keep it default. Then you have to click on create VPC. All the things are been creating. Your VPC is successfully created. Now you can check on your VPC. My VPC 1 is created. In subnet part, public subnet is created. In route table, your route table is also created of my VPC. Internet gateway is also created for you. You just have to attach it to your VPC. You have to put routes in your VPC. Your VPC is ready for doing anything. You just put virtual machine inside it or do anything. Your VPC is created through short process. We have also seen long process as well as short process. So we are done with your VPC. So thank you so much.